We have a question from a sister. Let's see what it says. It asks, when a man is angry and suddenly intends to send a talaq to his wife, what does this mean? Talaq means divorce. Send a talaq, say that word talaq tuki. I divorced you. When a man says I divorced you, is that accepted or not valid? Let's see. Is there a difference between the Sunnah school and the Shia school? In the Shia school, which follows the tradition of the Messenger of God and the jurisprudence of the Quran, marriage is easy. It means that witnesses are not needed, only that the girl and the boy agree. If the girl is a virgin, with her father's permission, they can recite the formula and they are already considered a couple and wife. There is no need to go to a religious leader, nor to go to a mosque, nor to have witnesses or anything. Marriage is daunting and divorce is difficult. This means that to carry out a divorce, the presence of two just Muslim men is required, who are present at the time. And the man must recite the words in a normal state, fully aware of what he is doing. The woman must not be menstruating. And there are several conditions that must be met. The man must recite in perfect Arabic. And if all conditions are fulfilled, the divorce is valid. If not, it is not valid. This means that if the woman is menstruating, the divorce is not valid because the man needs sex, so he becomes upset and will divorce her, which is not acceptable. Let the woman return as Angela from the house. Then let's see. Without the presence of two just witnesses. What does it mean to have two just witnesses? Because just witnesses will not allow the man to divorce his wife since they are just Muslim men. What's wrong with you, boy? Calm down. Oh, what's wrong with you? Why do you want to divorce your wife? They are not going to allow it. So the man has to justify the case to two just men. He would say, this happened to me, please let them be witnesses. And they would respond, no, we don't want to be witnesses. Goodbye, we're leaving. Then, both need to agree to this divorce. So you need two other just Muslim men. Just is very important. Not from the sinners, no, just. So there are so many conditions that God set to make divorce difficult. That is why when a man is angry, he initiates divorce. It is worthless. Not at all. Unfortunately, in the Sunni school, because it does not have independent jurisprudence, it is a mix of much sunnah from the caliphs, innovations from the caliphs, things that are not in the sacred Quran, and things that are not in the teachings of the Prophet. So they arrived at something that is not true. I call it very bad. Why? Marriage is difficult. It requires witnesses and many other things. Divorce is easy and straightforward. If the man says goodbye, it's over. And even the man here can divorce his wife 3 times. There it is. When he divorces his wife 3 times, do you know what it means? That man and that woman can never ever reconcile. The man was angry. For example, in the case of a Mongol king from the Ilkhanate Mongols, if I am not mistaken, we are talking about after the Mongol attack on Iran in Iraq. One of the kings of that Mongol dynasty had divorced one of his women out of anger. So the law says, you cannot go back to that woman according to the jurisprudence and Sunnah. That king was very angry because the law said you cannot remarry her until she goes to marry another man named Muhalel. They live together, have relations, and all that. If the second husband wants to divorce her, and the waiting period has passed, which means 4 months, if she wants, she can remarry you. However, after the waiting period of 3 or 4 months, she may marry another man and have sexual relations with him. And what happens? If that man cannot force the husband to divorce his wife, the second husband, in case he says he will divorce his wife, 4 more months pass, then your wife can return, your ex-wife can return after 8 months. And that was very burdensome for the king, and he said no, to invite all the Sunnah to give me their opinion. All the Sunnah came, giving their opinions. So they already said yes, that is our jurisprudence. A woman can be divorced once or 3 times, and that's it, it's over. Is the king very upset, saying there is no one who has a different opinion? They say yes, it is a misguided group. What are they called? They are the Shia. So, who is their leader? They said, Al-Majeli, the great scholar, Geli. They sent him from the city of Hela and summoned him to appear at the king's palace. And many things happened. And Alomika explained to the king that we follow the true path of the Prophet of Islam. We follow Ahlul Bayt. These are logical teachings. They are intellectual teachings. We do not follow the caliphs who have many mistakes, which the Sunnah recognize. We follow the infallibles, Ahlul Bayt, and all that. So then he asked, what is the law? The law states that the divorce you have done, which was not in the presence of just witnesses, is not valid. She remains your wife. Then the king loved that. He said, stay with me, stay with me. And he became Shia. And that king was one of those who helped, we can say, expand the Shia at that time. That story was very interesting. Well, it's the topic of divorce. And also in Egypt, one of the teachers of chants, if I'm not mistaken, was Sheikh Shaltut. When that happened in Egypt, it was a big problem. They had that a man divorced his wife 3 times, so he could not return to his wife. So they already said, let's recognize Shia jurisprudence as the 5th school of thought. We are going to recognize it. Then Al-Azhar, the great Sunni University of Al-Azhar, the center of study in Al-Azhar, Egypt, recognized Maktabul Ja'afari, the school of thought of Imam Sada al-Islam, which means the school of true Sunnah, of the Messenger of God, true Islam, alongside the 4 manipulated schools, Hanafi, Shafi'i, Hanbali, Maliki, and they also added the Shia school. That happened in Egypt about, 50 years ago or more? Well, that's all. It's